Yeah. Okie doke, I am alive in the flesh. I'm sorry, that's bugging me. It's not properly standing up correctly. Much better. Okay. So, I got blessed with a new deck by just, I guess, existing. And I'm going to be doing a walkthrough the Black Alchemy Tarot by two friends of mine. Yes, I'm on, and I guess alive. But the Black Alchemy Tarot, I have no idea what this deck has. I don't know the theme. I don't know anything about it, really, except like a few cards. It's by Curtis Joseph and Gary Rosenberg, right? If I said your name wrong, you can hit me upside the head with a blunt object. So, on the front cover, well, the whole thing's like black. Then on the cover, we have the symbol of the Ouroboros symbol, or Yogamander, from Norse mythology. The one time I need a sharp bladed object to get something cut open, I don't have one. Nope, never mind. Oh, why do I gotta grab the ones that are crooked? Okay. What the heck, man? There we go. I'm not the best, and I'm not friends with Saran wrap. I think it's plastic. So the box is pretty firm. Like, you can actually literally hit someone upside the head with this, and they would probably be knocked out. So, okay, so pretty much it's only just the deck, and I'm not complaining. Oh, that is fancy. Oh my Lord Landa, this is majestic. Oh my gosh. Just feeling the cards make me go, I think I just want to have these in between my hands and doing this all day long. Oh, it smells like, it kind of smells, has a minty smell to it. Anyway, the edges are, wait a minute. Oh, they're golded edges. At first I'm thinking like, wait a minute. They were just silver, now they're gold. Like, what is this madness? But the gilded edges on the side. Yeah, and there's the documentation. It only just came with the deck, but if you know how I am, I don't hate, I just don't like using the guidebook because it makes me think that's like cheating and not actually connecting with the deck. And this does not have a placeholder card, thank goodness. So the back has the Ouroboros symbol. Yeah, but actually, like how Los Scarabeo has like the guidebooks that's like this thick of different languages and only this much in English. So I guess we're going to be taking it from the tippity top. Cardstock, check. Oh, that's thick. That's firm. Wow. A lot better than Los Scarabeo. Well, then again, they always vary. So the first card, the Fool. And also, I like how it's bordered. I like bordered. That's none of your business. I like how it looks like he's like a hooded monk, but also at the same time he's accompanied by kind of looks like an amoeba to his right. And I'm not sure if he has a scythe in his hand or it's like a little spear. But I mean, he looks like he's kind of going a skippity doo dah. I'm not sure if he's going towards, it looks like, the lava, or like if he's skipping towards or skipping away into the lava, like skipping away behind him, or skipping away right to the face. Well, or maybe might be trying to be like a fool, but like, oh, I'm gonna just go giddity right to this person's face and then hit him with my. Looks like, well, oh, it is a scythe because his sides you can actually see the weapon part. Lightning storm in the background and pretty smoggy and kind of this kind of a full is kind of making me think like, oh, you're gonna be like in Jackass, huh? Because it's like, are you going towards the edge of the cliff, which is like lava, or are you gonna go towards us and think that you're gonna take one of us out? The magician. I like how he's ghostly. Mercury symbol. There's the pentacles. There's the cups. There's the blade. Actually, he has a total of the wand is there, the blade's there, the cup's there, the pentacle's there, and I'm kind of seeing how it's positioned the way that it is. But I also noticed that he has another blade right down the middle, which kind of looks like he, or it may not even be a blade, it might actually be like holding a pigeon, no, not a pigeon, like a phoenix or something. But also there's two little sprites right next to his head. So possibly that could be like the sprites or the spiritual aspect conversing with the magician altogether, but specifically like how the thing he's holding in the middle, that's like the perfect unison of him and the Fool coming together, if that makes sense, because this is the spirit, and then this is the actual using the tools of the 3D reality. The manifest what you deem fit. Next is, ooh, I love this. And I just love the look on her face. She's just like, Moon, yep. There's no, hey, is it pomegranates? Yeah, there's no pomegranates in this picture. I also like how she's not even really holding a book, but she has that, she has that look like, I already know that you've done messed up. Don't say a word. And I can't really tell if she's wearing pearl, like a pearl necklace. And I mean, just the look on her face, it kind of is just showing that, whoop, don't knock the card out of my hand. That's not very nice. Anyway. Just, And the thing I also really like, too, the letters B and J are not on the pillars. Because every time when I see them, I'm like, oh, for goodness sakes, we don't need to be talking about that. I also like the purple mist in the background because that kind of shows a royal aspect. And it's interesting, she's wearing black because usually the High Priestess wears white. So this could possibly be like a High Priestess of like maybe Lilith or the darker aspect, maybe. The Empress. Okay, we have the Venus element and very nature focused. And she doesn't actually, and also she looks like she's holding a wand, it looks like. But she doesn't have a shield. So possibly this Empress is a lot more open than compared to usually like the Rider Smith when she has a shield next to her, like, no matter what happens, if I'm caught off guard, I can protect myself. This one is much more vulnerable. But also has a sense of, like she's kind of teasing, if that makes sense, just based on the look on her face. She's just like, you don't want to come this way because they don't call me the mean queen for nothing. Just that look on her face. It kind of does have that don't mess with me look. The Venus symbol is in there twice, and it's pretty focused on vegetation that is growing out of control. So I'll talk about like a kind of a wild, this Empress gives me a wild growth. So like it's unpredictable growth. But it's also very playful. The Emperor. Oh, this is an interesting way of depicting it, and it's what's really interesting is that like how one half of him, like above the waist, is black, and then below the waist, he what's that called? It's like when you when you have like a scope and it's like a heat sensor. Yeah, one part of him is not hot and the other part of him is hot. So it's kind of like him trying to be like actually like a black. There's like black armor on the top, and then there's like light yellow orange armor on the bottom, and then his head is perfectly exposed. So I mean, this emperor, I'm getting a vibe of and it kind of looks like he's having his hands on something like you're not gonna get this. But he also looks like he's kind of like that. So maybe the thing he's trying to protect is also something that's causing him great pain. And it kind of looks like he has his other hand like, oh, this hurts. I'm not gonna let you get it though. Ah, the light burns. Oh, it's the He Who font. Oh, that definitely screams He Who font to me. Teaches by intimidating you. I mean, look at that. Yeah, that kind of intimidates me. It's just like, oh, look at that. If you don't follow or believe, no, if you don't believe what I'm trying to teach you, I'm going to send you to heaven. Isn't that counterintuitive? Well, I would say send you to hell, but you're already here. No. I also like how... I kind of also like how he's the one that has the B. I like how he has the BJs. God. I'm sorry. I just had to. And I mean, he has a lot of keys. A lot of keys. I guess he wants to open many locks. But you know what they say about a key that opens many locks? That's a rusty key. And he kind of has a look at him like kind of like 7 keys. 2. And I also notice right there, like on his robe, there's an Ankh symbol on it. And the more I look, it looks like he's kind of going, I hope nobody sees me. Yeah. I don't like the He Who font. The Lovers, and oh, there is the lovely Lady Lilith. You know, the one that went to Adam and was all, oh, woe is you. Poor Adam, he can't, he can't handle his meat. Oh, what a shame he has to rely on me. Oh, well, at least Samuel can handle himself. And the Tree of Life in the background. Gemini, yes. I think I've already explained this card, but what I really like too is how Lilith is positioned. Like how she's just all... And how it's not really in a state of depicting her in a kind of a vulgar way, but it's like in a way that's like really what seduction is about. Letting your mind wander and not being all about like, oh, well, talk about having weird anime costumes or the whatnot. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Samuel is holding on to, it looks like a cup or something. But he does have the horns. And actually, this is actually a better depiction of actually having the sign of Gemini. Because Gemini is the sign of unionship. Next is the Hong Kong Fooey, the Chariot. A white horse and a black horse, and then a guy in the back going, oh crap. One tower is dark, one tower is light. And it kind of looks like in the background is like a race. I also like how one horse is all the way out front and the other one's like, wait a minute. And the poor soul in the background is just like, I can't hold on to this. Slow down. Creamy. And chocolate. Move faster. And also how in the background one tower is in the dark and one tower is in the light. And also the multifaceted star at the top. And I see, looks like a chimera in the background, right there. Yep, I see that thing. Yeah, that was like a chimera. I had to double check because I'm thinking like, isn't it? Isn't it something else? But oh well. Okay, we have the scales with the heart and the feather, Egyptian mythology based. It also kind of looks like the scales right here. It looks like it's a bat. So sometimes, carrying out acts of justice can be draining. And there's a random lovebird right there. And there's also, looks like it's Nyx right there in the corner. Looks like there's a little dark lizard right there. Looks like somebody's arm. So kind of it's making me look like that. Looks like somebody's going to have to lose more than their arm and the leg. For some reason, also they had to give up their pet bird and pet whatever the heck this thing is. But for some reason, Hi, princess. Good to have you in this walking through of the Dark Alchemy Tarot. Oh, this one. Here comes the prime. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna call it prime time, but like the main event. The cunning woman, or the hermit. Oh, I just love how this card's done, especially the look on her face. She's just like, I can have just as much fun as you. Don't you even think that my age is something that you can think I can, kind of make you go, oh, what did she just do? She just took my pants. Yep, there you go. The cunning woman. And what I really like too about this depiction is that usually most of the time the elderly figures, they tend to know how to have the most fun. Really. They know how it's done. And they actually kind of teach people altogether that, the one thing that they have all learned, life is too short to be serious all the time. Sometimes it's good to be a little whimsical. But because of her age and her time on Earth, she has wisdom, but she can also have the other side of Mercury being crazy and whimsical and playful. Okay. Next is the Wheel of Fate. And let's just hope that nobody, has throwing knives to throw at this poor guy. And this was exactly what I was picturing it. Okay, time to go. Wheel goes round and round. I like how also below him people are like gambling, and he's just like, and nobody noticed that I'm stuck here, chained, and I'm just spinning around, and hopefully no ball lands on my crotch. What's even more interesting is that the way that this card is usually said is like with Jupiter, but especially like how this is. Gambling is more like a Rahu Venetian kind of a thing. It's not really Jupiterian. I also like how right here there's it looks like Queen, I think Nefertiti. Yeah, there's like a Nefertiti figure right there. And there looks like a yeah, but there's a lot of ghostly figures in the background. Here is Strength. It looks like there's man and there's man, and then there's actually, wait a minute. There's a figure that's blue, then there's a figure that's like human, but he's in a black tornado. So possibly could that be maybe that Thanos? Or maybe it could be, I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, it's like they're trying to fight for DNA, like traits, like the genetics. Or maybe, you know, they're trying to merge genetics, which would be kind of a, I don't know. That might be a woman angel. I don't know. But it looks like they're trying to fight for it. And I like how one side is more green than the other, and one's more calm and than the other is destructive. He who is hung most, and it's kind of put it upside down. Okay, nothing really on the upside down. But I also like how he's not really hung. Like hung is like he has something stabbed in his head, and he's just like, crap. You see? It's like he has something stuck in his head and is just suspending him with like an invisible wire. And how he's like above the ocean. And the Death card, I like it. I like the Grim Reaper figure. But now the really awkward moment when you have, I'm just gonna say, that awkward moment when you have Christ hung on a symbol that represents a man's reproductive organ. So he was hung on the cross, and that was actually a symbol of fertility. So he got hung on the cross. That's just so bad. I'm sorry. Bad Brendan. Ooh. I like this Temperance because it looks like you have one part of her alive and the other part of her dead. I didn't know Hell was an alchemist. But I mean, the way that she's going about it is like she's very. Kind of going about it in a way like how the Aquarius would kind of go about it. Besides, how you doing, Jen? Are you doing good? I hope so, and I know you're doing good. Because if you're doing good, because you're doing really good. I don't know what I was trying to go with that, but I mean, good. That's how we're going to keep it that way. Ow. Pulled my jaw there a little bit. But is that a... But I also think that might be like a Hydra right here, I think. But then again, there's also another head on the other side, so it's like a friendly fire in the background, and she clearly doesn't give a crap. Exactly, and the good thing about a phoenix is that it won't ever die completely. Like, it'll never be completely, because it'll always be like, again? Fine. Oh, I'm gonna die, I hope this time. Yeah. Now that's what I like to call a really good life insurance policy, because you just keep coming back over and over again, and you that could be also a bad thing. And then we have the Chris Varley of the Tarot. The card, which one? The last was perfect. Oh, it was Sagittarius, right? I mean, not Sagittarius, Temperance, right? Or the Alchemist. Yeah, I like that one. I like how that one's depicted. But now this one takes the cake. Oh, the devil, huh? Well, yeah, that's what happens when you have crooked politicians in, power. And even though I would much rather have the devil be like a Chris Farley, live life, live it hard. Just saying. Oh, Kendra's here! Oh my God! Wow. So wow, yes. The Black Alchemy Tarot, and I believe and I hope that the person that's here, that made the deck, is still here. Gary, I hope he is. But I mean, the devil, I mean, I like how this one has a businessman. Yep, indulgence in money and power, and thinking he is, the big controlling head honcho. But, I mean, to me, the good thing about the devil card is that not only is it one that shows you where your limits are, but it also reminds you of trying to be, like your own devil's advocate. Like, look, you've had too much fun, time to stop. Because, I mean, devil's advocate is like, oh, he's just the devil's advocate, always ruining the party. But he kind of cares, right? He's like, stop drinking. You won't have more for tomorrow. And besides, you might not be able to walk if you drink another pint. Huh? Mm-hmm. But also, the way that I like about it too is in the depiction, it shows how man, like human beings, can be the most restrictive. Well, I wouldn't call it like a sin, because to me, a sin's an opinion. A real sin is something like if you're causing harm to somebody else intentionally. Like a good example, but I mean, I don't want to get political. So you're going to read the whole 600 pages of the thing that's in, the Senate, right? You're going to read all those pages. Really? That's unrealistic restriction. Okay, since it was his idea, he can sit and listen. The top. This is an interesting tower. And it's kind of hard to make out that tower, and besides, it kind of looks like something else. I'm not going to go any more into that one. But it's... Is that like a skeletal dragon? Or like a... Wait a minute. I saw it. Like if you see right here, you see how it kind of looks like a big phoenix, like bird thing? I don't know if you can see it, but there's like the back, there's the tushy feathers. And then there's one set of wings going this way, and then another set of wings going this way, and then the head's like right there. So maybe, possibly, this tower got taken out by a giant bird or a rock. I think that's spelled R-O-K, and that's from Egyptian mythology. Essentially, it's a big giant bird. Then I like how this star card is, because it looks like, what the heck is going on back there? But it looks like it kind of looks like the same one that was in the High Priestess. And interesting enough, behind her, wait a minute. How many arms does she have? Okay, she has the one going that way, and then she has another one right there. But it looks like there's another being like right there. It's like she has two faces or two heads. Well, and that is Aquarian energy. It's like, what in the heck's going on here? But really, Aquarius is that sign that takes the spirituality aspect and the spiritual intuition and nourishes the world with it. If that makes sense. Because there's usually 3 depictions of Aquarius. There's the depiction of like the little boy with a cup of water for Zeus. No, not Zeus. No, it was for Zeus, but it wasn't a cup of water. It was like a cup of blue tansy drink. And that makes sense? But there's a little kid with a blue tansy goblet? I'm going to go with that. We have the blue tansy goblet kid. And then we have the old man with the giant urn, and he's pouring it down onto the earth like this. That's more like the Saturn aspect kind. And then we have the beautiful maiden with the urn, and she's just completely moving all over the place, dancing with the urn, and water's going all over the place, showing the absolute, like, whimsical side of it. This moon does not make me feel like I need to see without my eyes. This moon makes me think, if I close my eyes, I think I'm gonna miss up. Because this moon makes me want to keep my eyes open. And I absolutely love that right there. Like the figure, is he facing this way? Yeah, there's a skull facing this way. I don't know why I'm getting this vibe, but I'm gonna go with it. It kind of shows that, like, say if you were, like, trying to interact with Satanus, and then you're in a wide open field, and you're just calling out and being like, Satanus, I invite you to come and, like make yourself known in the space. I invite you to attend. And then he just goes, you called? Yeah, because it kind of looks like he's just going, like he's rising up out of this little sphere. And I mean, well, like what I've said before, when he makes himself known and he comes in, you know, because it's, well, okay, he's here. But I also like how the moon is crying a tear in its blood. Because usually the way I look at that, it's when somebody is crying a tear that's blood, the first thing I think is somebody is mourning over like a spilled blood or somebody's life being like their inner, pretty much somebody's health is being like, how am I trying to put this? Somebody's losing their life they're losing their life force because of grief, if that makes sense. But I mean, I'm still getting the idea of like, okay, this moon makes me want to stay awake, and Satanus is definitely saying, I'm here. Stop doing the stupid stuff, kid. The Black Sun. Oh, I like this. That is majestic. How'd you get? What's that eye's name from Lord of the Rings? Is that supposed to be like his sister? I'm saying sister because it's purple. But the Black Sun. I like that because now it kind of makes you think. So. Oh yes, and actually Lilith is actually in the Lover's card. Where the heck did it go? There it is. That's supposed to be her and Samuel. And the way that Gary depicted her, it's not in a way that's vulgar, but it's in a way that shows her seductive side, but it's not like too much. It's just showing it just right. But I mean, this Black Sun, I like it, and especially how I like how the eye is like a serpent eye, and then also a cat eye too, which, if I'm correct, oh crap, I just had it and I lost it. With this Black Sun, I'm getting the idea and the vibe of pretty much the happiness is very able to adapt and see in the dark. So possibly the dark is where you can actually find the most happiness in. Which, to be technical, yes, because all the dark is really, it has everything you want in there. What you say is in there is what comes out. Yes, that's why I like how Gary did this deck. And also the back has Ouroboros on the back, like, or Yogamonder. Because, I mean, that is just gorgeous. And best of all, it's gold edged, even though I prefer silver, but still. A gold edge. I'm more of a silvery kind of a guy. Judgment. Ooh. Oh. Who is that in the background? I'm just like, what is going on here? Okay, we have 3 dead rising up. We have the 4 men on their little ponies, and then we have a figure in black in the back. It's like, we have the dead rising up, and they're probably thinking, okay, we're coming back from the, oh crap. And I know one of the, I know one of the horsemen, I know this one is supposed to be like death or famine, the one that's bony. One is a disease, or is it ember, or like the scorching flame of something, I can't remember, or like the fluid, the river and the water of the earth turns to blood. And then there's one that looks like he's a lich, a pestilence, war, famine. That's funny because hell has a blade called famine. Coincidence? I think not. And I like, wait a minute. The one at the far right over here kind of has it. The look on his face makes me think, wait a minute, Christ, why are you one of them? Why are you riding a pony? I mean, I'll just call him Larry, Curly, Moe, and Shemp. And then we have the Black Earth, which is supposed to be like the world. Very interesting. And it also looks like it's coming off. Wait a minute. Is that supposed to be? Oh, I don't know. Is that supposed to be Nyx in the background right there? Or is that supposed to be like crap? What's her name? Crap. I mean, I'm getting the Nyx vibe right there. Or not Nyx, then possibly like Gaia. But since it's the Black Earth, I'm not really sure what. I'm not really sure. Maybe, well, this is gonna sound weird, but galactic Persephone, maybe, because it's in outer space. But I mean, the look on her face is just like, oh, Nima. So am I. This is actually, funny enough, the only gilded deck I now have. Thanks, Jen. But it's interesting because, like, where she's positioned, it looks like she's protecting it because it has like a circular thing around it. So possibly it's like trying to preserve the Earth. Oh, so are you meaning to tell me I got the deluxe version? I feel fit. I don't even have hair to do that. Why am I doing that? But what's interesting too, there's like another figure right there. If you really look, it looks like there's a man figure right there. And if we know the story about how, like, when Lilith emerged from the void and God was like, I must have her. Oh, what am I? Now where am I? Who are you? Why do I want you? Please, please, be my queen. I don't even know you, dude. Go away. God. Fine. I'll be your queen on one condition. What? What is it? I'll do anything. Make me a beautiful world. Make me just something beautiful, like a beautiful sight to see. And be quick about it. Okay. And then he makes Eden and the earth. Little does he know, as Lilith's watching him do all that, she's going. Once he's done, okay, it's done. Perfect. But yeah, I mean, Kendra told that story about Lilith kind of like teasing God to make a world, and then kind of tricked him at the very end as soon as he was done to get away from him. Okay, now we're going into the suits. I'm going to split this up. Okay, we have the twigs or the beating sticks. Okay. Then we have the drinking apparatuses, the cups. It's very interesting how it's the page is the last one instead of the king. It's like going in the reverse order. Okay, we'll go with the cups suit first. See, here's the ace, and I like how the hand is kind of acidic. Stagnant emotions and possibly poisonous emotions, maybe. Well, very interesting, because that looks like two Nagas, which are like humanoid people that have like the body of a snake and then the upper torso of a human. But specifically, what's interesting is that they have hands, and pretty much they're all scaly. Oh well. Well, if they're calling you to drink, okay. Well, here, have a glass of water. Hey, they didn't specify what kind of thing to drink. Drink water, okay. Oh, not that drink, okay. Nah. Oh, here we go. I think Kendra's gonna love this one. She's gonna love how I'm gonna describe this card. Okay, so in this card you have the three wives of Adam. You have Lilith, and there's Eve, and then there's the unknown one. And they're all coming together just to congregate about their experience with him. Let's take it from the top. I cannot believe he cannot take care of himself. Why are you being like that about him? Maybe he was just misunderstood. Eve, you let him pretty much dominate and be over the top of you. Why would you let that happen? Now, come on. Why don't we just be civil about this? Fine, I'll admit it. I was the one who killed him. I killed him. So what? I mean, it's not my fault that, he went crying to God and, tried to tell him, she's not letting me sleep the way that I want to with her. What? What do you mean she's not letting you? Now I'm really not sleeping with him. And what's really interesting is that this woman over here, it kind of looks like Sol from Norse mythology, or like a woman figure that's the sun, because she's kind of lit on fire. So she can say kind of hot-headed. I'm not really sure. I mean, I would consider probably this one, like the one with her back turned, to be Eve, because to be technical, if that's like the first person, we have no idea what she looks like, because technically every human being would then have her face. But we all know the real MVP has got to be Lilith over here, just like, yeah, I killed him, so what? I'm immortal, so I'm not going anywhere. Literally. Because like how with my technicality when I did my Lilith video, was like, well, she never did eat the fruit, so technically she's not infected with sin, so she's immortal. And also, yeah, that kind of shows like the three aspects of like the womanhood. You have one which is like the crone, the kind of darker aspect, the one that's a little bit like, I'm not new here, and boy, I can make it look like it was an accident. Don't tempt me. And then we have the one that's kind of like the more kind of more, let's say, innocent. like Eve, that would probably be that one. Like the maiden aspect. And then the mother, oh wait a minute. No, that would be the mother of humanity, Eve. And then she would be the crone. And then the one that's unknown. Well, technically, the one that's the unknown is usually the one that's the most youngest, because we don't know much about it since it's young, if that makes sense. If you're trying to see where I'm going with it. Because there's a lot of people know about Lilith, a lot of people know about Eve, but not a lot of people know about Adam's number 3. And even then, it kind of makes me think Lilith will go, really? 3? Wow. You know, if you would have just let me just be on top, this never would have happened. You would have had just one wife, but well, okay. But oh well. Next one is... Oh, this is interesting. Oh, shoot. That's bad. This is interesting, because now you have the 3 of Cups. Now here comes the 4 of Cups. There's the ladies congregating, and then there's poor Adam all by himself, like, why are they getting along so good? And why are they just abandoning me here there? It's because you don't know how to handle yourself, kid. It's not impressive. Sorry, Adam. No, Eve. But yeah, that figure over there is all by himself, and it's in the same environment as the 3 of Cups. It's the same one. And this one actually has all the water. This one has no water at all. It's kind of just like it's like, why do they do this to me? Because you advocated rape, you idiot. Oh. Now this 5 of Cups is kind of, it has a bit of a cute vibe to it. Because, I mean, look at him. He's like a little shrouded, what's that called? It's like an underworld spirit, like a wisp. Not a wisp, but it's essentially like a shadow spirit that's in the underworld. A shade, that was it. Yes. I mean, I just let her just come through as she wants to, and I mean, she is in my first house, and I consider that to be something very, very lucky. That'll work. Aw. But also Mars in Scorpio, yeah. Because, I mean, you know, the shade figure, who knows, maybe he's actually doing that to be like a hidden dagger, like, oh, I'm just so sad. That is a kind of a Scorpio thing to do. I'm not going to do anything. Okay, they're about to take another step too close. Stab. So, I mean, what I'm getting from this is that possibly this kind of, like, having a grief over something can be like a hidden dagger or something. Or something is being hidden more than just, like, depression. Like, it's like depression that's putting on, like, a veil. Veiling something else. Oh, I love this one. It's like nostalgia, so it has so much history that even like when they're both dead, they're like, I remember you when we were alive. And even in the and it's even like, even after death, I mean, he still knows how to, you know, win her heart over by giving her a cup of lilies. And even the house in the background too, run down. And up in the sky, you can actually see, it looks like one figure is right there in the sky, and then there's another one over here, and they're going at each other. So it's like, yes, my dear, I absolutely love how you got me these cups, and then there's a war going on in Olympus behind them. Oh, what's that noise I'm hearing? Don't let them see you. Just give me the flowers, and I'm gonna get out of here. And well, for 1 second, it looks like the hands are going up like this on the woman figure, and then the other one is like, and there's like other hands just going like at her torso, grabbing the cups of lilies. And I like how there's another, it looks like there was a, very faintly, you can kind of see like a little bunny head right there. But yeah, you really have to look like right where my finger's at. There's like a little bunny thing like right there. Yeah, that was going to be a little hard to see, but I'm like, oh, look at that, a little rabbit. Mm-hmm. It can be like, oh, he remembers me even after we're dead. Or better yet, it's pretty much having a past life connection so strong that he still knows what flowers are like. But now this Seven of Cups is probably a funny way of looking at it. He's kind of not even looking at the cups. He's just like, I know the shenanigans. I was in the Five of Cups when I was younger, but now that I'm in the Seven of Cups, I'm not going to play this game. I'm just going to not even acknowledge it. And then you have the ghostly head in the top saying, hey, are you not going to look? And then you have the figure that's supposed to be a ghost and having a sheet on its head. And then there's a Cobra cup. Then there's a Tower cup at the very far left. There's Nike's headdress thing. I don't know. Can't exactly remember what that's called. This one kind of looks like looks like candy. I can't tell, but it looks like that's a cup of candy. And then the last one, which has a little nasty imp plotting something. Oh well. But what I like is that with this card, trying to figure out, okay, which one's the real one? There's only one real cup, but the real bit of a bamboozle thing about it, the real cup is the one you grab. That's it. The other ones aren't the real ones. Huh. This is a very interesting having. Oh, this one? It's blue sapphire. That is blue sapphire. And I have one on both hands. In Vedic astrology, Saturn owns the middle finger because, well, he tells the king, nope, not doing it. Go away, flamer. You're not going to make me do crap, kid. You flame too much, that's why I'm not doing it. Literally. He defies the king so much. Actually, this one. Oh, yes. I mean, if once you know how Saturn is, you're like, don't go anywhere. Just don't hit me too much, okay? I know you have to hit me, but not the face, please. But with this one, it's Saturn and Pisces. And what's really funny about Saturn and Pisces, it's kind of like he's in a position of like, how am I going to make sense of this? How do I'm trying to be practical with my feelings and spirit. I don't get it. I think I might have dementia here. Why am I here? I'm lost. How am I supposed to be disciplined and work hard in my imagination? I can't grab it. Yeah. But what's interesting is that the figure looks like the figure's going off of a cliff. Instead of like going on a path, it's like, nope, I can't do this. And then the Nine of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces, which is, in traditional astrology, Jupiter Guru does own Pisces, but this actually kind of does fit. Except Jupiter in Pisces is very nurturing and very spiritual, but in this depiction, it's like he's smiling because he knows that there's something else that's not being apparent. And the more I look, oh, okay. there's a skull head right there, right next to him. So who knows? Maybe the skull head right there is saying, oh, you think you're enjoying your time here, huh? Good luck finding the cup that's with the poison fluid in it. Good luck, kid. Time to play drinking roulette. This is a very interesting Ten of Cups, but I like how the children, they're not really playing. They look like they're fighting over a toy, and the parents are just like, we don't give a crap. Like the kids right there, they're just like, George, give me it. No, Daisy, you cannot have it. George, why you always gotta be a big meanie head? 'Cause Daisy, it's a knife. I don't care, I want to play with it. Yeah. And then the mother and father are just like, you know what? It's our honeymoon. We're going to enjoy it. And one of the kids, runs off with the knife. Well, not our problem. We're trying to enjoy this. And funny enough, it looks like a rainbow up there, but really it's like the northern lights in a way. And for some reason, I just noticed this. In the lake, there's like a lot of ghost-like figures in the lake. It's like, are you guys going to go jump into... Yeah, and I was thinking that too. It's like, is that a UFO? But it actually looks like the northern lights in a way. Though it's really... Wait a minute. There's actually a figure right there that's in the dark, right there. I don't know if it'll catch it, but like right where the man's head is, like right there, there's a dark shadow figure. It's like, it makes me think. My good sir, are you going to be taking your wife to him? Yeah. Are you? This had better not be like a prank to tell your wife, like, you know what? I can't do what's best for you, so I'm gonna let this shadow man do the job that I can't do. And here comes Lilith on the sideline. At least you're not like Adam. At least you know you can handle yourself and not have to rely on Daddy to help him. And now we go into the court cards. I mean, this King of Cups looks like he is not really... doesn't have a lot of nutrition in him. He looks like he is kind of wearing a corset. It is the king that is doing drag. Yeah, he looks like he's wearing a corset. And I'm like, my good sir, how do you do that? And I'm kind of curious to see how a man's figure would look after wearing a corset. A man shaped like an hourglass. So, how'd you get your your rack done? Oh, just by wearing a corset? Really? Oh. Well played. I know, and he has really weird shoes, weird boots, and there's like a lot of... There's like a ghostly angel figure like right behind his head, right there. It's kind of making me think, oh, looks like Lilith is striking again and taking out this king. She's like, oh, you think you know how to handle emotions, huh? And be spiritual? No, dearie. Besides, that's my corset. You're gonna have to give that back. Now, this is got to be one of my favorite ways of the Queen of Cups. The way she's depicted. Because she looks like, not a naiad, like I'm going to try and pronounce it in Undi, which is a water elemental spirit. But specifically, what's interesting is that it's like she's not in water, but she's like in a state that she's just like in essence, like an essence state. And she's looking upward, so she definitely is hopeful. And also on the side, there's a white rose right there. There's another rose on the side, kind of showing her pure emotional and unconditional love. And then for some reason, it kind of looks like she's holding on to, looks like a two-headed nine tails. Like nine tails, like a thing with like 9 lash and some razors on it. It's like, oh, my queen, I see you have a double-headed nine tails. My lady, what are you gonna do with that? Let me guess. Let me guess. You have to keep the king in order, so that way, you know, Lilith blessed you with it. Okay, well played. We'll go with it. This Nine of Cups is making me think like, I'm blue, I'm bandito. I'm sorry, I just had to. But what's really weird is that there's like a little, there's like a dove in there in his cup, and that dove is getting mauled or chomped on by a bat. It's like an innocent little white thing, and then all of a sudden a bat chomping on his face. So it's kind of like, well, when you're trying to, you know, make yourself vulnerable, you got to be careful because someone might actually see that and take a bite out of you. And there's also, why the heck is there a giant fish in the background like that? Like, oh, that would scare me to death. Well, the good thing about the color blue, it's a calming color. And it soothes, well, usually. Yep, like, oh, when fishes fly, not the flying fish, please. And then up ahead, there's a raven or a crow. And behind, because why not, behind this fish, it looks like there is an orca whale. So it's like we have a flying bird. Okay, that makes sense. Now a fish is flying, and now we have a flying whale. Well, what happens? Oh, now this is kind of a little bit different. There's a kid, and he's looking at a cup. Okay, but when you... Yes. And me being an intuitive reader, it's like me going into a candy store, except, you know, I don't have to pay for the candy. Eye candy. Not like that. But in this depiction, if you really look, you can kind of start seeing like a figure holding onto the cup, and the kid's like, how is that cup floating? That cup's floating. I don't know why it's floating. I don't get it. And he's just so entranced by it. Then also, for goodness sakes, there's a fish, and probably the fish is talking to him saying, trust me, just grab the cup. Is that going to be like, if when I grab the cup, it's going to be like Red Solo Cup? No, just grab the cup. But I don't want to grab it. I don't know what's going to happen. Just grab it, kid. And dang, those tap shoes. Yeah, he's wearing tapping shoes. Okay, that was the cups. I guess I'll go now to the swords. Okay. Okay, the Ace of Swords looks like, I mean, the way he's holding it is kind of like he's ready to stab something, but I mean, just based on that, it kind of shows that somebody... It kind of looks like he's taking his intelligence and is kind of being a little bit too harsh with it, if that makes sense. Like he's taking his blade and he's going with it like, but when you should actually be like elegant with them and have like grace with your strikes and have some form. But this is like, oh, I'm gonna stab you, which can kind of show like how somebody's way of communicating can be a little bit too stiff, and it doesn't have like a flow to it. Their ideas are too grounded or too heavy, or they're too stubborn. Ooh, ooh, I like this Two of Swords. I'm like, oh, Lilith, is that you? I mean, look at that beauty. And she's just all, I can definitely see what's going on here, but I want nothing to do with it. You come near me, I'll make sure to get you in the shin with one of these. Mm-hmm. Especially, too, I love, oh, what kind of dress is that? What kind of dress is that? What is that dress called? I mean, come to think of it, oh, wait a minute. Like right over here, there's a little snake head right there. And her dress, the longer you look at it, it starts to change a bit to red. It starts black, and then you start seeing some red hues on it. So it's like, young lady, did you happen to stab somebody? Because if you did, I don't blame you. They probably deserve it. Nice try there. And also the pink lightning bolt in the background. Well, kind of a violet background. And it's coming from the moon, so pretty much the moon can be pretty quick in the sign of Libra to like be quick to like balance everything and, you know, kind of negotiate more. Oh wait, that was backwards. Oh, now this Three of Swords makes me go like, oh, ow. And since it's bleeding, something is losing its life force with this one. But because since it does have the same color lightning bolt in the two, possibly maybe this could be like with her being like, I want nothing to do with this because I've already been hit. Nope. And here's the 4. How come it kind of looks like the swords are like aiming to go right down on him? And how come he's wearing joggers? I don't know what happens. Yeah, Jupiter and Libra, he's not really much of a negotiator. Huh. Here's the 5 of Swords, and it's a guy in regular armor, and then the same lightning bolt again. Yeah, the other one didn't have a lightning bolt in it. But specifically, there's a shadow figure walking away, and then there's one looking like he's one of those guys that wear tinfoil. Venus and Aquarius. He kind of looks like he's wearing cheetah print in a way. Then here's the 6, and we're going again with the lightning bolt again. But what's interesting, there is a black dragon figure right there. And then there's Chiron holding a red blade. Instead of an oar, it's a red sword. Like, Chiron, did you happen to cut off somebody's head? Or Acheron? Did you happen to cut off somebody's head with that thing? Oh, I see a mermaid over there. Right there. There's a merfolk. And then there's also a faint apparition right there. Very faint though. Mm. And then here, yeah, it's just like yeah, it's like the lightning again, but now we have it over in here, a blood moon. I don't think there was a blood moon in any of the other cards, but this one specifically is like, my good sir, I think you are in the wrong time zone. I think you somehow ended up back in the wrong century because he looks like he's dressed modern, and he's trying to tiptoe away in a very sneaky way. But specifically, there's a hand right there, a dark shadow hand going, like kind of going back this way. Yep. She's like, excuse me, you're in the wrong place, dear. And like right here, there's that dark shadow figure, kind of just like, hold on now. Oh, oh. In a way, there's like a little bat figure right there. It's tiny, but it's right there. Looks like that figure is also holding a tonfa in a way, which is like a side arm weapon that you hold like this. And the lightning bolts actually looks like it's hitting the building in the background. And I mean, yeah, wearing cowboy boots, definitely in the wrong spot. Okay, now we're at the Eight of Swords. Okay. Now this is a different way of having the Eight of Swords, because this Eight of Swords is saying that, oh no, I'm bound and gagged. Well, I'm not bound anymore, but I'm still gagged. Actually, she's not even gagged, and funny enough, the binding is like, she's just, oh yeah, that was on me. I completely forgot, I didn't even feel it because it was so loose. So maybe this Eight of Swords is a lot more freeing. No lightning, but there is a snake figure right up in there. Let's see if I can get it like right there, next to where my finger's at. There's like, oh, this is dark snake figure again. Oh wait, I just did that one. A Nine of Swords. And this is different because this is now a child being upset, it looks like. And it kind of looks like he's holding his head like this, like if he's having a migraine, or, you know, he's being stimulated by the unseen forces. And I mean, his bed, for some reason, has a piece of artwork that looks like it's made in blood. You know, kids these days, you gotta teach them young. Oh, the Ten of Swords, and funny enough, this one is mainly just the guy in red. And I like how he's getting stabbed in the tush 4 times. Yeah, 4 to the tush. That's all I'm saying. I'm kind of concerned about this king. This King of Swords is holding his blade. How is he doing that? Like his hand is going, okay, his arm is going this way, but then look at his arm. It's going like down, and then it just abruptly flips like that. Like, ow. My good sir, my king, that's a good way to break your wrist. But and I also noticed that there's like an angel figure underneath him. So it's like, why are you squatting on an angel? Oh, well, I don't blame him. Now, this is a Queen of Sass you don't want to mess with. That makes me think, oh, Lilith, I see you have found Excalibur. I'm not going to say no. And she's... Yeah, wow. And I like how she looks more empowered and more... Like she has more strength than the king. Well, you know what they say. The queen can do without the king. But the king needs the queen. Yeah. Because like in chess, the strongest and the best piece is the queen, because she can go in any way she wants to, and she's pretty much the backbone to the king. And if the king doesn't have a queen, well, he gets depressed. The queen, give me that. Don't say no. You'll be beheaded. Thank you. The longer I look at that, it looks like that's like some kind of ghostly head. And she's just all like, oh, I remember him so well. He was an idiot. It's okay. Somebody had to be the example. I like how this Knight of Swords looks like he's riding a nightmare. Like, that's actually, I think that's what it's called. Like it's a horse that's a shadow horse. And it doesn't have any eyes. And he's kind of focused on the direction he's going. But I mean, he's very, yeah, he's riding a nightmare. So now the last one is the page, and oh, it's just like, you know, when you're a kid, you pick up a stick and you're like, oh, look at me. I'm like Pirates. I'm not Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like Captain Jack Sparrow, except, you know, I'm not Johnny Depp. And then I also like how the lightning bolt up there is very faint and very thin. Meanwhile, all the other cards have a lightning bolt that's more like in the face. Okay, so. And now I only have the Pentacles and Wands left. Those are the cups. Get that over here. I'll do Pentacles next. That's quite the hard hand there. And I also like how the Pentacle is just okay. We're having it be more like that. Oh, one Pentacle is one way and the other one's the other, and it's a different color. And it just so happens to be purple. Well, you know what they say about the color purple? It's the most royal. And I also like how he's dressed like a leprechaun. Jupiter in... Oh, no wonder. Jupiter in Capricorn. Oh, poor Guru. He's pissed. Jupiter in Capricorn doesn't work. And I think I've said this before. Because when you have Guru in the sign that's all about being orderly, structured, disciplined, having status, you're pretty much trying to be like the Hierophant or the He Who font, be all like, I am a guru, look at me, notice me. That's not a guru. Because guru comes from those who you teach, not from the teacher to everybody else. Because as soon as you're like, I am a guru, look at me, no, you're not, because that word comes from those you teach instead. And as well, when you have, I'm just putting it for the way it is. Jupiter is a planet that's, I'm just going to put it this way. Jupiter, I like to call Oprah Winfrey, because it's just like, you get a whale, everybody gets whales. Especially you, camera guy, you get a whale too. It's like everybody gets optimistic and uplifted. But now in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, that same optimism and like bang. Imagine like going down south to like a black person church, and they're just in their service and they're just doing their thing and they're all lively. You go up to the pastor and then the choir and you tell them, could you keep it down a little bit? Because, yeah, it's getting a little loud in here. They're going to look at you and think, oh, just bless your heart. Just bless your heart, my child. And just stab you. That doesn't work. Trying to tell them to pipe down, that's not going to work. And that's what Jupiter in Capricorn is. Guru is being forced to have some self-control when he teaches. I can't talk any louder than this. even though I would be like this, I have to be like this. And I just hit my word count. I had to wait another 5 minutes before I can speak again. Now this is interesting. There's a figure and he's building DNA. Like the architect to, or organisms and stuff like that, life. But there's also another hooded figure on the other side. Very interesting. Yeah, because it's making me, wait a minute, there's a cup at the top. There is a cup at the top and there's a spear. Actually, there's 2 candles, not a spear. Two wands, 3 pentacles, and a cup. And a thing of DNA in the middle. 3 guys, 3 pentacles. Wait, 3 guys, 3 pentacles, 2 candles, and a cup. What in the world could that make? That's better. I'm not going to go that way. Here's the 4, and he kind of looks like he's just like, please, don't make me move, because this last pentacle on top of my head is going to fall if you make me move. And it's like he has a jail, like he has a prison behind him, like the building prison behind him. And in a way, it kind of looks like he's being, oh, wait a minute. If you look up here, you can kind of see like a very, is it this one? Because with this one, if you look right here, where my finger is for this one, you can kind of see like a faint woman figure's head just being all, he likes being chained up and stuck in prison. Yep, and then here's this one, which is like 3 guys, 3 pentacles, 2 candles, and a cup. Well, each one gets a pentacle. 2 of them get a candle, and 1 gets the cup. Well, at least they all get paid. Then here is the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, look, I see Baphomet's head. Right there. It's like, oh, Baphomet's head, how'd you get there? I can't unsee it. But, I mean, what's weird, too, is that one guy is injured with a cane and the other one doesn't even look like he's... It's like an outcast, and it's just like, they fired me from the church because I did not have the white part of my robe. I think it's a robe. They didn't let me stay because I forgot that white part. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh well. I guess I'll get my revenge somehow. Kind of like in The Conjuring. Yeah, the nun. That gives me an idea. And that's how the nun was born. Oh. Yep, gotta dress accordingly. Or better yet, they fired me because I look too dark. Now here's a weird one. Remember the devil? There's the devil figure in this deck at least. And it looks like he's... It's like he's fist bumping him. In a way. Look at him. He's like fist bumping him. Like, oh, you got it, champ. I'm poor, I need help here. You've got this. Typical politicians. And then there's another figure over here in the dark, and he's just like, little does he know that I'm taking what he has on that scale. Mm-hmm. Or you know how politicians are. We know exactly what's best. You sure? Because you tend to be in the lobby too much with the lobbyists. Oh, that was back. I went the wrong way. Oh. The Seven of Pentacles. I mean, he was so patient. Even in death, he's still patient. He's like, I'm not going to stop until I get all of me pentacles. Got one, but I still got a long way to go. I'm so patient. But why is it taking so long? Wait a minute. I'm missing one. Wait, I'm missing two. What? I don't know what's going on anymore. And right over here, you can kind of see like the black mist kind of just going like, and just like messing with his head. So possibly somebody's investment, it's not really providing much from them because the black shadow part is going under his head. And it's kind of like absorbing his energy, if that makes sense. His investment literally took all of his life out of him. And he's still like, how come nothing's happening? I mean, the way that this one's hammering, he's pretty hammered and pretty a little too strong. And I can't unsee this. It looks like there's a little ghastly, little cheeky goat figure going, I can't unsee it. Literally. It's like, I have, no, I don't have a picture. I don't have a picture of it, but anyway, it's, sometime like after the video, look up the word poro, P-O-R-O, and then you tell me that does not look like a poro. A poro is like a little, it's like a fluff ball with horns. It's like a little ram with like a fluff ball. It's like it's from League of Legends, which is a video game. So it's just like, oh, it's a little poro. And yeah, that thing has his mouth wide open like, oh. And then we have Venus and Virgo. Venus finds beauty and just absolutely adores nitpicking. One finds beauty in criticism. The one that someone likes to, pretty much how to express themselves, is being perfect. That's not really being creative. Because to be creative, you have to be able to look and accept the work. And like with Lucifer, he doesn't like being critical. He's like, I'm not. Why do I want to criticize your beauty and what you can create? There's beauty in everything. I don't have time to tear you down. I'm trying to uplift you. And if I think it's just me, but it kind of looks like that looks like he's doing drag, because that kind of looks like a masculine figure in a woman getup. So it's like, my good sir, I think I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to, you're trying to be slick and, try and convince the guys that, oh yeah, I'm a woman. Yep, you never know. Sometimes better than dumb. I like how there's like an elderly figure right there, and he is just like having time with the dogs. I was thinking Kubrick. It took me a minute there. And what's really, wait a minute, is that a stove? No, that, you tell me that that does not look like a man figure that looks like a goat. Not the guy, but like right here, next to my finger. It looks like a man figure that is like a goat. And he's petting the dog, in a way. It's like, Mercury and Virgo, well, Mercury's exalted in Virgo, and is the only sign that actually has his owner get exalted in it. My king, we have a problem here. I think his attire, I think there's something wrong with his attire. Like, I don't, where's that hand coming from? It's like his hand is coming like from his stomach. Like, my king, your hand is coming from your stomach. Shouldn't it be a little bit higher? And I also like how there's like a ghostly goat skull in the background. And then there's another one going the opposing way right there. Ooh, I like this queen. She's sitting in a very meditative pose. And it looks like she's expecting. Looks like she has wings. Oh, I see. You see that black wing right there? This queen is making me feel like, oh no. I'm exactly how you think I am. Sweet, loving, and I love to make sure everybody's fed. But you know what they say, when you say no to mama, you get whipped. I mean, that's the thing I'm getting with this. She looks sweet and innocent, but she won't hesitate to whip you. This Knight of Pentacles actually has two pentacles on him. One is in his hand, and yes, don't be, the ones you have to be the most, well, not ginger with. When you've been handling those that are gentle and easy, it's very recommended that you know, okay, they're very sweet, they're very gentle, and they're very caring. Let's keep them that way. Because the last thing you want to do is make one of them mad. Because when they get mad, you know something's wrong. But this Knight of Pentacles, he has wings on the back. Wait. In a way, it kind of looks like that's like a greenish, ghostly axe head. It's like, Knight, there's going to be an axe to your ass. Well, they must have no, that was going to be a bad pun. They're I can't even make the pun. They're axing you to make a question. No, never mind. Just forget about it. But yeah, there's one pentacle right there, like right here. And there's another one in his hand. And then he looks like he's wielding a feather. Looks like a big giant feather. Well, Knight of Pentacles, well, I mean, not only is he really grounded and practical and takes his sweet time, don't make him mad, because he'll be all like, I'm gonna dust you. I have to dust myself because I'm going so slow. And we have, for the Page of Pentacles, young Robin Hood. Yeah, young Robin Hood. And I like how, again, the pentacle is facing inverted, and he's actually holding it like right at the inverted, but like right when it goes inverted. So he's just like Yeah, I like it this way too. I'm going to keep it this way. But yeah, it's like young Robin Hood. And he's not intimidated. He's just like he's like he's holding on to it very confidently. Okay, that's the major. Oh. Alrighty. Last but not least are the wands. And I actually have to, once I'm done with the wands, I'm going to be going to sleep because at 8 p.m., no, not p.m., 8 a.m., I'm having another live stream. And I think, what was his name, Ricky? He wanted to actually have like a beginner's guide of the tarot and actually have me kind of go through like a simple Rider-Waite-Smith and just go through it and kind of give like a good idea on how to get yourself immersed like your first time with it. So yeah, I'll be doing that at 8 in the morning tomorrow. Yep. Cleverly said there. Ace of Wands. This Ace of Wands looks... That shadow figure, he has quite the fist. And he's holding onto a burnt twig. Yeah, it's like turned charcoal gash. Oh, well, you should see when, when I read a card and then Lilith is speaking, like, loud. And, like, in the Dark Goddess Oracle. Like, if somebody's in power, like Lilith's in power for them. Well, Lilith's in power, she's just telling you, it would be a really good idea. And by a good idea, I think you should do it. Let's make sure that you're being taken care of first. And if somebody doesn't like it, that's not your problem. They're just jealous because they wish they could be on the same level as you. So don't let them bring you back down to that. That's an interesting Two of Wands. He's stuck between two twigs, but then above him, Earth is in light and in shadow. It's like, well, the choices may look the same, but the results may be more intuitive based or more revealed. So choose your twig wisely. Is that Cerberus in the corner? I think that's Cerberus in the corner. And there's a shadow dragon figure right there. And then the black sun at the very tip top. But I can't get over. Is that Cerberus right there? It kind of looks like it. And then the figure's just like, God damn. There's the Four of Wands. We have, yeah, there's a lot of them. Oh. Like there was a couple getting married right there. And then in the very background, like in the background setting, you really have to look, but you can actually see, I mean, I can see it. There's a horned figure right there, and he's smiling. He's smiling right there. There's his mouth. And then there's talons there, horns at the top right there. It's like, pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just going through the, where's this bloody thing? I'm going through the Black Alchemy tarot that was just handed to me by the publisher of it. And I'm just walking through the deck because he asked me to. But yeah, it's like, Satanus, is that you in the background? Are you overseeing? Yeah, and I'm thinking like, Satanus, are you overseeing this wedding to make sure that, it doesn't get, what's that called? Jacked by, one of them rabbi people? Oh, I see it. I had to take a little bit longer to look. But now I'm seeing another part of it right there. There's like a horned figure, like right there. There's the head. And even though I said like the mouth of it was right there, but now it's right there. It's like Venus and Aries. One's way of expressing creativity is space first. Saturn in Leo, Five of Wands, also known as the card of everybody coming together to beat each other with their own twigs. There's the blood moon in the background, and I like how all of the ones that are fighting are men, and then the blood moon in the back is like Lilith just being all like, "Oh, they think the last one standing is gonna get me." Yeah, that's what I told them, but they're not gonna get the winner's not gonna get me. I just said that because I want them to beat the living heck out of each other. Venus and Aries in the fifth. So pretty much the way that your self-expression and or actually better yet, your children might be very. Let me see. Because fifth house is children, and in Aries, your individual. Wait a minute, so that means you would have a Pisces and be a Sagittarius ascendant. I think. Yeah, I believe you'd be a Sagittarius ascendant. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Yeah. Conjunct Ketu. Yeah. Your love partner or like your spouse figure is going to have a past life connection with you. Somehow, some way. Or you might be meh with you may not be that really attached to, you might be kind of dissatisfied with politics, speculative gain, and you may not really feel like, I don't really care about kids really, because K2 is like meh with everything. He's meh because he's already done it and he's already mastered it. The Six of Wands. And now this depiction to me, it kind of makes me it makes me think, oh, look at you. You think you're like Julius Caesar, huh? Yeah, you're not, kid. You think you look so cute with handling 6 twigs. No. That's not impressive. Don't you have your own to worry about? It's like, young Julius Caesar, you're writing a nightmare. That's a problem. And looks like he's surrounded by like entities that are covered in blood in a way. And this one over here is just like, he doesn't know that I'm around the corner. But he's too much of a dunce anyway to realize it. He's having too much fun playing with his sticks and his twigs. Oh well, that's how usually men are. Oh well, it is what it is. But it's Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter Leo is essentially one's teachers are like, listen, I'm going to teach you the best way, and you better be proud of it. You had better acknowledge your guru after he teaches you. Which kind of makes one's way of teaching very egotistical. Which kind of doesn't. Which Jupiter in Leo's in a friendly sign, but Jupiter is very humble, usually. Seven of Wands. A man standing up against 5 little. Excuse me. Standing up against 5 little cuts in the earth. They look like it's going to explode lava any second. Mars and Leo. One exerts their energy by being pretty much their ego is what, like their action involves their ego, and they're like to put a lot of action in being honored and looked up to and noticed. Nothing wrong with it. Makes a good actor. But boy, you know, if it gets into, you know, fisticuffs, you can have somebody be all a little bit over dramatic in their like way of doing like their fighting style with a Mars deal. You can kind of like see like somebody going like with really flashy moves. If that makes sense. The Eight of Wands, Mercury and Sagittarius. The Hong Kong face first. Eight twigs ahoy. And yeah, but this one's like, I'm going to defend this place, but I can just know any second right below me, I'm going to be, you know, getting a nice charcoal facial. Oh, that'll open up the pores. But Mercury and Sagittarius, Mercury is like, I'm trying to, you know, trying to use math to explain philosophy. I don't know how to do it because it's ruled by Jupiter, which is the other kind of intelligence. The wisdom, and Mercury is like your mundane intelligence. The Nine of Wands, and it looks like this guy he was a veteran. And I can't unsee this, but like right over here, there's like a big giant red heart in the sky. And it's Moon in Sagittarius. Which kind of, in a way that does, because my significant other, he has a Moon in Sagittarius, and this kind of does, kind of jives with him. His emotional stability comes from kind of being like exploring and learning. Because I mean, he likes to learn about higher philosophical things, but he's so stupid. But I love him to death. It was a joke, okay? Now, Saturn and Sagittarius. My moon, I have an Aquarius moon. In my Aquarius ascendant, like point blank conjunct, but also Lilith is in there too, and a retrograde Saturn. So it's like a, okay. It goes in this order: ascendant, moon, retrograde Saturn, and then Lilith. Whenever Lilith is in the same sign as moon, she protects the moon. Because without moon, love doesn't exist. What nakshatra? I believe it's, I'm going to try and pronounce it. Sapphire, the one that's the void circle, and the one of the 100 physicians to the gods. Yeah. And Saturn is like 3 degrees right behind moon. Yeah, but she's getting left out. So Saturn and Sagittarius. So I have to figure out how to be realistic and practical with philosophy. Where do I grab it? I can't touch it. So yeah, Saturn kind of likes to have something realistic that he can grab a hold of. Because if he can't see it and work with it, he most likely doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Now this is probably the best king out of all of them, and he's the only one standing. And I'm thinking, my good sir, is that a stick flail? Because it looks like he has a whip on the end of that. And I thought I saw like a hellhound around in there, but might be just the chair. Ooh, ooh. Now, you tell me that does not scream Lilith right there. Especially the look on her face. She's like, oh yes, this staff? Oh yeah, this was Adam's. Yeah, I ripped it off. It's mine now. I'm sorry, just had to. Okay. Well, you know what they say, if you don't tell the queen no. But where's the cat? Oh, the cat's right there. And the cat's just like, yep, she did it. She really ripped him a new one. Um, Now we won't ever bother her again, because now he doesn't even need the help. He's kind of dying from blood loss. But what I really like about this is like she's very focused with her like how she's looking. She's like focused on something intently. Oh, in a way that kind of looks like two man's feet just like dangling in the background. Oh wait, no, wait, he's right there. There's a man figure right there. And oh wait, is that Adam right there? Oh, he's trying to get his twig back. Oh, no, 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 no. That's, no, no, no. If you try to, if you begin to point, and if you get it lost, sorry, you can't get it back. Maybe next life you'll learn not to point, because being, pointing at somebody's rude. Okay, it took me a minute. I'm thinking like, what the heck is going on with him? It looks like he had a lightning bolt and something just go like, hits the stick and it goes right back over his head. There's the knight. Talk about he's really lit ablaze. And it kind of looks like he's shooting something from his groin. I'm moving on to the page. The look on the kid's face is like, eh, eh. I kind of like this new toy Lilith gave me, but it feels like it's rotted flesh. Bad Brendan, but still, yeah, it's like he's pretty. I just have to. It's like the kid is very entranced by it. Well, sometimes it is what it is. And I also like how he has a nice collar, like right there. It's like he has a vampiric collar right there, but strangely a blue hat. Oh well. And really, that's the whole deck. And what time is it? Oh, it's about 12. Yeah, 12:30, and I have to be up in like 8 hours to do the next live, and and actually, if any of you want to come and watch the live at 8 a.m., it's total free game. It is very lovely, especially this part. Yeah, the gilded part. And even then too, I'm thinking like, gilded, huh? Oh wow. Actually, it kind of makes me think, if I was in a situation where I gotta defend myself, I know which deck to grab, because this thing can cut. Gilded is like, oh, that's kind of sharp. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I just love it when cards just glide like that. Oh. What, we're all ladies here. Let's see. How well does it go? Oh, that is divine. And it actually, it flows. Wow. Up until, after I use it for some time, then all of a sudden, like the hand grease gets on it, and it's like, oh no. No, I can't do that unless I get like cornstarch or magic fan powder, not fanning powder. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Black Alchemy Tarot by Curtis Joseph and Gary Rosenberg. And my next live will be at 8 a.m. today. Yes. And I guess I'll see you all on the next live. And it's at 8 a.m. where I'm going to be talking about how for anybody to begin reading the tarot. and actually show what it's about and how to read it and actually be an intuitive reading with the deck instead of being by the book, because I'm not a by the book reader.